Hello everybody, let me discuss a problem on input tax credit. See the problem. Charan is a taxable person in Bangalore. He gives the following information from which calculate CGST, SGST and IGST payable for the month of March 2019. So we are supposed to calculate as per the problem CGST, SGST and IGST payable. Along with that, we are supposed to show taxable turnover calculation also. See the first transaction. Supply of goods to Mysore 5%. The value of goods is 14 lakh. See the place or the location of the supplier is Bangalore. Supplier is Charan and location of the supplier is Bangalore and place of supply is Mysore. It is interstate supply, so CGST and SGST are applicable. 14 lakh forms part of taxable turnover. 5% is the GST rate, so 2.5% each. So 35,000 to CGST and SGST 35,000. Supply to a taxable person in Maharashtra 12%, 24 lakh. Maharashtra, so place of supply is Maharashtra. It is interstate supply, so IGST is applicable. 24 lakh into 12%, so in the IGST column 2,88,000. Supply to SEZ developer in Bangalore, so goods have been supplied to SEZ developer in Bangalore, so it is not just export, it is deemed export. So in the taxable turnover column you are supposed to show deemed export and not rupees 12 lakh. 12 lakh anta torsodalla, you have to show it as deemed export and exports are zero rated. So in the GST rate column you are supposed to show zero rated and in rest of the columns nil. Supply of exempted goods to Udupi. Goods have been supplied to Udupi. So within Karnataka, so it is interstate supply. But you have to see the type of goods. So what type of goods? Whether it is taxable goods or exempt goods. So it is exempt goods. So the taxable turnover becomes exempted and rate as it is given in the problem. Exempted goods anta ಹೇಳಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ you have to show it as exempted in the GST rate column. Export to Canada 12% is the rate of GST and value is 15 lakh. So export to Canada, as the name itself states, it is export. So in the taxable turnover column you will mention it as export and in the rate of GST column it is zero rated. The exports are zero rated. Next, supply to a taxable person in Goa. Delivery of goods received in Bangalore by their agent 5%, rupees 8 lakh. See, supply is made to a taxable person in Goa, but where the goods is received, the goods is received in Bangalore. So which place you're going to consider it as place of supply? Is it Bangalore or Goa? So it is the place where the goods have been supplied. ಎಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಸಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ಅದನ್ನ ನೀವು ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಗೋವಾ ಇಸ್ ದ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಸಪ್ಲೈ ಇನ್ ದಿಸ್ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸಾಕ್ಷನ್ and not Bangalore. So Karnataka to Goa means it is interstate supply. So this transaction becomes interstate supply. IGST is applicable. So if you see here, see the solution part. Supply to Goa received in Bangalore. Taxable turnover column 8 lakh. Rate of GST is 5% and IGST is applicable 40,000. Rendered service to a person in Pondicherry 18% is the GST and 50,000. So this transaction is interstate supply. IGST is applicable. So 50,000 into 18%. So in the IGST column 9,000. Provided service to a person in Madras, Tamil Nadu. Once again, this transaction is interstate supply. IGST is applicable. So on 8 lakh 18%. So it comes to 1,44,000. Goods supplied to a job worker in Chennai, Tamil Nadu. When goods are supplied to a job worker, so when you are going to supply goods to job worker, when some modifications are to be done, when your product has to be modified, ಅದು ನೀವೀಗ ಫುಲ್ ಪ್ಲೆಜ್ಡ್ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಫಿನಿಶ್ಡ್ ಗುಡ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಸ್ಟಿಲ್ ವರ್ಕ್ ಪೆಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಇದೆ, ಅವಾಗ ದ ಸಪ್ಲೈ ವಿಲ್ supply the goods to job worker. When goods are supplied to job worker, it is not supply under GST. So in the taxable turnover column you have to mention it as not a supply and in the rate column nil and in rest of the columns nil. So remember, when goods are supplied to a job worker, it is not a supply at all. Rendered services to foreign diplomatic mission 12% is the rate of GST and value of the services 1 lakh. Rendered services to foreign diplomatic mission. If any services are rendered to foreign diplomatic mission, so it is exempted under GST. Remember this, when services are rendered to foreign diplomatic mission, such services exempt under GST. Next is Taxable turnover column, it is 62,50,000. CGST total will be 35,000. SGST total will be 35,000, and IGST total will be 4,81,000. The next part is he had a credit in electronic credit ledger. IGST 45,000, CGST 45,000, SGST 45,000. So if you see here, IGST 45,000 is there in the electronic credit ledger, that is input tax credit available. IGST 45,000, CGST 40,000, and SGST 40,000. So as per the latest amendment, IGST has to be utilized to the full extent. So that 45,000 is to be utilized to the full extent. So if you see the IGST output tax total, it is 4,81,000. So first use the IGST input tax credit towards payment of use the IGST input tax credit towards the payment of IGST output tax. So still IGST output tax remains. ಎಷ್ಟು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ 4,36,000 IGST output tax remains. So the next step is you have CGST 40,000, SGST 40,000. So as per the rule, CGST input tax credit has to be utilized towards payment of CGST output tax first. ಅಂದ್ರೆ CGST input tax credit ಇದ್ರೆ CGST output tax credit ಗೆ ಪೇಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಯುಟಿಲೈಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಎಲ್ಲ CGST ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಉಳಿದಿದೆ ಆದರೆ ದಟ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಬಿ ಯುಟಿಲೈಸ್ ಟುವರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ದ ಪೇಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ IGST output tax. ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ SGST input tax credit ಇದ್ರೆ ಫಸ್ಟ್ SGST output tax ಪೇಮೆಂಟ್ಗೆ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಇಫ್ ಎನಿಥಿಂಗ್ ರಿಮೈನ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ದ SGST input tax credit, ಆ ರಿಮೈನಿಂಗ್ ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ನ IGST output taxಗೆ ಯುಟಿಲೈಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಬೋದು. ಸೊ CGST 40,000 ಇದೆ, SGST 40,000 ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ಲೆಸ್ ಇನ್ಪುಟ್ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟ್, ಇನ್ಪುಟ್ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟ್ CGST input tax credit 40,000 ಇದೆ, but we don't require 40,000 because output tax 35,000 ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ utilize only 35,000. In SGST column also output tax is 35,000. So in the SGST input tax credit we have 40,000, but we don't require 40,000, utilize only 35,000. So still in the CGST input tax credit we available balance is 5,000. ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ SGST ಇನ್ಪುಟ್ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಮಗೆ ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ಉಳಿಯುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ 5,000. ಸೊ ಆ ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ ನ ಯಾವುದಕ್ಕೆ ಯುಟಿಲೈಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಟುವರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ದ ಪೇಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ IGST ಔಟ್ಪುಟ್ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಯುಟಿಲೈಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ಸೊ ಐ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಮೆನ್ಷನ್ ಹಿಯರ್ ಲೆಸ್ ಇನ್ಪುಟ್ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟ್ ಇಂಟರ್ ಹೆಡ್, ನಾಟ್ ಸೇಮ್ ಹೆಡ್. ಸೊ ಈ 10,000 ಹೇಗೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ CGST 5,000 ಇನ್ಪುಟ್ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟ್ ಉಳಿಯುತ್ತೆ, SGST 5,000 ಇನ್ಪುಟ್ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟ್ ಉಳಿಯುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ 10,000 is utilized towards payment of IGST output tax. So remaining 4,26,000 is the net GST payable. And go through the working note here. Yes, thank you.